You want to commentate Tuesday?
Well played.
Am I?
Yeah, but I figured Yoda's never commentated before, so that's why I said, if anything, at least like you guys can see how well, like Yoda's good at talking, he's good at play-by-plays. So
Right. That's true.
Alright. Yoda, did you want someone with you? I mean, Sneak is gonna be here, so.
Uh, holy crap, that was not a good way to start. But yeah, dual cast is probably the best way.
Oh, okay.
Like,
and then amateurs here as well.
I don't know if two people are gonna be.
Does two gamer want to do it with him?
I don't know if the plan was for me to do it by myself, but it's usually better because it fills in the silences and stuff.
Yeah,
and
most
it's
of the
a lot
time.
better to watch when it's like a conversation instead of just like one guy talking at you. Talking at you.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna try to get one of my better casters here. Oh, okay, he joined. Cause he's like one of my main casters. His name is Memphis.
We don't
Oh,
like.
that's right.
Sorry,
He casted you guys.
I need a
we
recap.
have favorites.
Yeah.
We have favorites.
You guys have
We do have
favorites.
All right, I'm gonna go start the game. Let me, or should I wait a second? Wait for Memphis.
Are we
party.
fully set up? Like, is everyone
go.
here? Is
There we
everyone
go.
like on the same page?
Hey Memphis.
There we go.
Sneaky, I'll only come back to the party whenever we're after every match to let you know something now.
Alright.
No worries.
All right.
Yeah, Memphis. So we have Yoda Soda, and he's a caster in training, you could say. And I kind of, if it's okay, if you can help him out.
Yeah, man, no problem.
I'm gonna turn my mic off, and I'm streaming on YouTube, so I'm gonna let you guys just do you.
What up, everybody?
Oh, what happened to that
Let's get this show rolling.
I'm super confused on what's happening.
mic? Yeah, I'm not. I don't think everything is clear, but.
What's going on? All right, who am I with?
So you're with Yoda Soda. Sneaky is just on the side. He's just being sneaky. I don't know.
As usual.
It's up to Sneaky if he wants to do it as well. But yeah, Yoda is the one that requested to cast.
Cool, all right, well, I'm just gonna hop right into it then.
I'm just gonna sit out. I'm gonna mute my mic.
Okay, so on the left, of course, we got Velocity. Seen a lot from these guys here. Team Captain Goat Pounder, Shrimp Fried Rice back into play here. Captain Crunch, one of the better Symmetra mains that we've seen. And Fanny Mago, of course, coming back in. West Nile Virus, probably going to see a lot of DPS from him. Reborn Soldier, of course, can't forget that DPS player. On the right side here, we've got the Fib side, Captain with Distortions, Storm Shield here coming in on the second spot. Where Angels die, of course, with the Somber pick here. Not going to even try and pronounce that fourth character there. And Lionclaw 509 here. Name that 8 age or something or other. And the sixth guy here.
So the starting map is going to be Lijiang Tower, of course, control map. I do believe it has the competitive setting, so it's first to 3, best of 5. Pretty standard comp coming out of Fibs, although we do have the sort of anti-dive kind of ranged comp coming in from Velocity with the Hanzo and the Zarya. Go Pounder usually doesn't play that hero, but we're about to see how it goes.
Certainly so. We usually see him on like a Junkrat pick, or at least an off-meta pick.
Yeah, Junkrat Pharah, and here we go with an instant kill onto Fatty on the Reaper.
Definitely a great headshot.
Trading on
here
both
from
sides. That's another kill for Velocity, although Shrimp Fried Rice goes extremely low, manages to get out just in time. Captain Crunch going low as well. They lose Captain Crunch in the end, no Hanzo, but they do have the numbers advantage, people coming in from spawn still. That is no longer true, as 2 members have fallen down now. Reborn Soldier trying to make up for it.
All around, of course, all the picks going towards the favor of Fibs here, as it's now a 5-on-3 attack going on, but Winston up in the sky, seeing if he can get Pharah out of the sky, but no avail there. Ult economy on red side, we've got Genji on fire, named at Age, of course, ready to go with the Dragon Blade.
Yeah, I think the problem there was that although the healers died very early on for Fibs, they were able to kind of stay in the fight, not really give up the point just yet, and the heroes were able to come back from spawn and kind of win the fight in the end because Velocity's healers did die in the middle of the fight. They ended up having the advantage in the extended engage. They do lose a Lucio right off the bat. That's a really big pick.
Captain
Don't want to
Crunch
help
again
that Winston
with the
out.
headshot.
Reborn
Crazy
going in
plays.
extremely deep. Both monkeys in the sky, dropping down at the same time. Shrimp Fried Rice does go down, but they do lose 3 members. Velocity with the numbers advantage. They do get the res. That is a boop kill onto both combos.
All around. So it seems as though Velocity popped most of their ults here just to get the point back. They did take the point in the middle of the team fight, which was pretty crazy here. But Fatty Mongo taking the reins here as he popped off his Blossom there to go and get the nice double kill. Of course, Winston came in and got 2 environmental kills from there as well. And moving on here, we see a pick on red side here where Angel's Die comes in and tries to take down Captain Crunch, which he will get the kill. A very nice
They
pick.
do have both support ultimates still. They could turn this fight around if... Nope. They managed to kill the Mercy right before she does get the double res. They pop the Zenyatta ulti, trying to stall the point here. Reborn going in away from the enemy monkey. The money monkey is discorded, being focused down, but he manages to stay alive. It's still Hanzo ultimate coming through, kind of zoning them off the point, but Captain Crunch going on the Reaper. Hanzo's going dangerously low. Isbly himself is going to be taken down at the end.
Nice, and 4 kills for the side of Velocity, going to take the team down to a 5-on-3 matchup here.
Wow, they do lose the Mercy at the beginning of the fight, but with the Zenyatta ultimate was able to keep everybody alive through the Winston ult, and they still have a huge ult economy here for the next fight, holding strong at 75%. They got about 2 more fights before this kind of goes their way.
Right, we may see a nice combo here. Oh, pardon me there, Fatty Mongo.
There we go.
Down. There's the combo yet again.
They do manage to kill the Hanzo in the end. The Lucio ultimate able to keep everybody alive through that Graviton, but they do get the res in time. Velocity's back up. Answer with a Dragon Blade. Instantly kills 2 people, one of the supports on the Hanzo in the back line. And it seems like they're going to recap the point here pretty easily. The fight was looking to go their way.
Yeah, definitely so. The team fight had to be won there, of course, with the Hanzo popping off his Dragon Arrow there and able to get a nice few picks. We did see a nice res from Shrimp Fried Rice, however, Made That Age was able to combo that perfectly with his Dragon Blade and just get a beautiful triple kill.
That Graviton only managed to catch about 2 people inside of it, and they were saved by the Lucio ultimate, so not a whole lot to be invested there. They're able to come right back into the point, though, a double res to equalize numbers here. They do lose West Nile Virus in the end, so no support. There has the numbers advantage. Diva ult being dropped into the back line, that's going to be a dead Mercy, no supports. Drop the tank in the front line. Reborn still in the back, trying to regroup with his team as the rest of his members are falling. And it seems they only have 1 more push here. What looked like a pretty easy game for Velocity after that, those early team fights is now looking to be a struggle. They do have the Winston ultimate, they do have the tactical visor. They are going to have to rely on a fat orbital drop Death Blossom if they want to kind of capture this point back. Genji instantly being jumped on, manages to get out just in time. Reborn still on that Genji. And there it is,
Beautiful
the
play of
Death
Fatty
Blossom.
Mongo. Damn, a nice 4 kills there from Fatty Mongo, bringing the team down to just a 2v6 here. Seems as though Angel's Die is trying to keep everybody off the point just to contest. As the rest of his team funnels in, there's the Tac Visor as well. Only able to take down West Nile. However, a nice Dragon Arrow there. Going to take down that red side soldier, Captain Crunch again, getting a nice pick here. There's the Lucio
Mercy's
ult
still
again.
alive, being kept alive by the Lucio.
And all around great valiant effort from red side here. And Fibs doing their best just to fight back against Velocity as they go for the contestation here in the overtime. And it seems as though they're going to take the first round here. A nice roundabout win here from Fibs. So it certainly could have gone any way. It looked as though Velocity was going to take it that first time.
They kind of won every fight by a very similar style. Their supports would die early on. They would get picked, but then they would come right back in after a couple of kills had gone down. And when The supports are on your side. You kind of win the fight every single time. Even then, when you had the Death Blossom that got both supports, you got 4 people, including both healers. This Winston was able to stall long enough, and their healers died, and he was able to stall long enough for them, his healers, to come back in, and they just won the fight afterward. They just keep winning these extended fights. They didn't focus him down, didn't get him off the point quick enough. Even the tactical visors didn't really pick up any kills. Was able to kind of scare them off and zone them off until the rest of their team comes. But here comes second round. We're gonna see a little bit of a change of comp here with a Pharah instead of a soldier. Pharmacy coming in as well, very common pick for this map. Of course, environmental kills are very valuable, and 2 people, 3 people already going down. The ground level harass from the Genji and the air harass from the Pharah is a very deadly combination. You have a Lucio and Winston protecting the Genji. You have a Pharah protecting the Mercy. You have a Mercy protecting the Pharah. Sorry. And although if they don't get a hit scan, looks like they already switched up to the soldier. It's going to be very problematic for them.
Right, so here we go. We got another. Yep, another push here from Velocity going across the bridge. Not a great choice here, especially since they're going up against this Pharmacy. And again, we see Fibs dominating this choke point here. Of course, we do have Goat Pounder getting taken down. Beautiful kill from Named That Age. Getting the Zarya out of play. Reborn's going to respond and take Distortions out of play. Now both healers on red side are down. Leaving it up to the tanks and the DPS here to go for the team fight. Not looking good for Fibs, however, and it seems as though blue side Velocity is going to be taking the point back. Got a nice
contestant. They need to get these kills before the healers come back. It's been their demise every single time. Here comes the Dragon Blade. They already lost their DPS, but he does manage to fall in the end. Here comes Lucio again. The Resurrect gets Fatty Magoo back up and running. The Mercy's still hiding behind the sideline. She's waiting for those kills to drop. There you go. The double res coming in. Once again, the extended fights. They just keep dominating exactly the same way. The Winston coming
in.
It's
a great strategy working for them.
Lucio ult being dropped, Mercy in no danger whatsoever. Winston not even focusing her right now. They're trying to get the Genji. The Lucio being so annoying, so slippery, booping everybody off of the important targets. And peeling for that Winston is just doing so much work. He's just distracting everybody, not even letting the Zarya get in there. Mercy does get dropped on the back line. Kills going both sides here, but it does seem like Velocity will eventually win the fight and finally capture the point. 83% bought there by Fibs.
Right. And it's crazy, just yet again, like you said before, the healers coming in, dying early, but coming back late game and getting a nice res. Be able to pull that off and get the long team fight in there is certainly helping them out, at least percentage-wise. We saw in the first round how they were able just to take the win beautifully there. So, yet again, we got the team fight going on the bridge. However, it seems as though Fibs is going to take the smart route and go for a flank. They've got Pharah and Genji on point now with the D.Va, with the support. All around, it's a 3-on-3 fight. Genji will take down Captain Crunch, and then poor Pharah is going to go swimming with the fishes there at the bottom. Shrimp Fried Rice getting taken down, of course. A great and beautiful pick here. Fatty Mongo as well getting taken down. West Nile Virus hitting the sack as well. All around, the red team is dominating here. Fibs will be taking the team fight and taking the point back. Seems as though they're calling for a group up on the blue side.
They have the Dragon Blade. They have almost 6 ultimates at their disposal. They don't even need to worry about this point being contested, I don't think.
Really just unbelievable pro strats here going on for this team. I mean, it seems as though they're working very well with each other.
They do swap up late, last second, the Goat Pounder on the Junk right here, kind of switching up the strat. I don't think the Hanzo Zarya combo is working out too well for them. Pharah does drop the ulti, gets 2, or at least the Dragon Blade finishes them off, gets 3 people with the Resurrect. Viva ulti being dropped, does find Reborn Soldier. Lucio ulti being dropped, Monkey slapping everybody around this point, trying to stall, trying to get those teams back up and running. Getting near the sidelines with Mercy. Mercy still has the Resurrect available. She's just hanging out on the sidelines, trying to get the res when her team does drop. That's 2 picks. She might res that. Lucio coming in now. No res yet. She does res when she gets trapped. She knew that was certain death. She had to get those teammates back up and running. They do manage to get a kill. 2 kills on the Goat Pounder. The Meko does go down. That's a kill onto Storm Shield, so they have no healer, but it doesn't even matter. They managed to get the kill onto the Gorilla and secure the second point here. Clean 2-0 so far for Fibs.
Yeah, gotta give it to those supports there on the Fibs side yet again, coming in. Saw beautiful Lucio plays and dropping the barriers at the perfect times, and of course, that Mercy knowing exactly when to bring your team back into the fight. So it's been all around crazy. Good warm-up round here for Fibs.
They are running kind of an awkward comp now. They do have a Captain Crunch going onto the Zarya Goat Pounder with a Junkrat. Junkrat on this tile set is pretty good. He's pretty good on both the Garden and the Night Market, not so much Control Center because there's so much open space where people can just run around. But in this one, everyone just kind of has to get into a very enclosed square space, so he can definitely do better than whatever they were running before, which was the Hanzo and the Zarya, which is very combo reliant. If you don't get that big ass ultimate, it doesn't really work out too well. They do swap Wop Pop to the Mei, instantly gets killed. Kills being traded back and forth between two teams here. Mercy's still alive on both sides. They do drop Fatty Magoo, no DPS, and it seems like Velocity is winning this fight overall. Only Winston on the point, he's going to be killed pretty much quickly, and Velocity, their new strategy, they swapped out the team comp, seems to be working out. They get the first cap.
Right, so, and it's got to be thanks to this Goat Pounder here pick with the Junkrat. We saw him take down D.Va Alpha Mech as well as getting a nice pick there on Pop Pop. However, we will see on the available. Right, we will see here on red side, it seems as though they're going to go for a pincer attack here. Winston's going around to see what he can do to get a nice flank. However, Goat Pounder's not going to let anything happen there. He's going to have to join his team back again.
Great
red team pushing through the middle. See what they can do here. There's a red tire
coming through. Going through the back line, trying to find some picks on the healers. Mei will be killed if she, as soon as she comes out of that ice block. Goat Pounder does get taken down while he is conducing the Riptire. Dragon Blade being dropped, Shrimp Fried Rice being the primary target, he does get taken out, and Fatty Magoo as well. That's two huge picks, no DPS, no healers. It's only, there's a Lucio ultimate trying to keep everybody alive. West now trying to boop everybody off to Winston, trying to keep him alive. He will pop his ultimate, trying to stall out as long as he can for the rest of his teammates to come back in here. Buying percentage, he does get the boop onto the Zarya, that's huge. West Virus does get taken down at the end. Everybody's kind of grouping up on point, they're losing numbers. He fails to jump into the window. Will he survive though? That is the question. He will be staggered out here if he does not manage to live. He does get the jump over and lives. Winston on the chase, but won't really get anything, decides to retreat back with the team.
Yeah, he was able to get that health back to keep him alive, and then of course Mercy here coming around the red side to keep him alive as well was very influential. Once again, we got Lucio here, Distortion's dropping his barrier. He's going to be taken down very quickly, however, by Magoo's ult. Goat Pounder going in and getting a nice support from Mercy, taking down the Date Age as well. And of course, there's the triple res from Storm Shield, bringing everybody back to play the Zarya ults. Dang, it's a bloody massacre here on the point. Seems as though it's going to be going in favor of Fibs, however, they do have the numbers.
Winston with
There's
another...
a nice res from Shrimp Fried.
And they managed to...
ult going too.
They managed to do the strat they were doing against them. They were able to get the support ultimate Aiden late, but didn't really seem to work out in the end as they all get killed by the Dragon Blade. Winston, though, doing a whole lot of damage, managed to get a ultimate in one fight there, managed to stall the point, but they weren't able to clean up those kills. The Attack Visor was a nice touch. They didn't have any D.Va to block that ultimate. Does get two picks, but they managed to recuperate. Winston waiting here on the flank. Mei gets walled off. Mei walls off the Zarya. My bad. Winston all by his lonesome will be taken out. Oh, he manages to jump to safety. Has that orb on top of him, trying to keep him topped off. They do drop the Lucio ultimate. They're focusing the Winston now with the Discord orb. They do manage to kill the Junkrat. That's a huge chunk of their DPS gone right off the bat. Another Lucio ultimate coming in from Velocity. Trying to fight inside the point. Zarya's by her lonesome. She has the backup now from Mei, who managed to fall in the fight earlier on. My bad. Being frozen here, he does manage to pop the ultimate just to get back up and full health. Another ultimate by Reborn, popping off on this Winston, trying to do the best he can. They do swap over to a Reaper now. Instantly dies though. They're still trying to scrap up in the point, but Gorilla will be taken out in the end. The Graviton try to keep everybody off the point. Overtime's been ticked here. This is match point for Fibs. Winston ultimate trying to push everybody off the point. Dragon Blade manages to kill two people off, and I think that's it. Fibs take map 1.
Yeah, gotta say, man, the game sense from both of these teams have just been phenomenal all around. But Fibs, however, in terms of when it's down. Nice. Certainly got to paint.
Sorry, I wasn't really able to hear you all that well. Your mic was kind of cutting in and out, but definitely a very interesting game from both teams. I think Velocity did learn quite a bit, though, to switch up their comp. The Winston was doing a whole lot of work, just not a whole lot of follow-up, doing a lot of damage. They needed a little bit more burst. They brought in Goat Pounder with the Junkrat trying to help that out, and it did work out. But in the end, it was too late. They won the extended fight again. Genji getting that ultimate extremely quickly with, you know, really big targets to hit and getting onto those supports. Seems we're seeing a swap here for players, so we're putting Sneaky in and putting Fatty McGee on the bench side of things. We'll see if that helps them out with their hero pools.
Am I still breaking up a bit?
No, you're fine, I can hear you clearly now.
Alright, good deal. Just trying to wait out the lag there. Anyways, I was talking about how the teams they both showed great game sense there, especially in that third round. But all around, I'd have to say that Fibs were able to take it so swiftly because they were just so aware of the map that they were on, and they were able to capitalize on their ults and be able to choose them at the right time. Where we saw a few ults go off too early for Velocity, rather, just unable to keep the team off the point long enough to be able to stall. Whereas Fibs is definitely a very stall-strong team.
Absolutely. Here on the side of Fizz, we do see the Shimada duo, unsure if they're going to go for that or if they just want to get a quick Sonic Arrow to scout out the enemy opposition off the high ground here, or if they're going to swap them out to something else, or something of the like, the Widowmaker, maybe for an early pick, though I don't think any of these players are known for their Widow play. Maybe they're just messing around in the spawn room, as we all do, with the Torbjorn on attack.
What did Trump call that locker room talk?
Standard. Yeah, Velocity with a much standard team comp here. The triple support they're known for, West Nile on the Zen, and Shrimp Fried Rice on the Mercy, with Sneaky on the Symmetra. Interested to see this. Name Date Age not going to be playing the Genji, apparently. They are going to stick to the Hanzo. We're about to find out. Get that Sonic Arrow. And here we go. Watch 1 Gibraltar. Game 2, map 2. Velocity taking the high ground, and an instant kill on Name Date Age. Very good pick for them. Gonna stall out that Hanzo and get those ulti charges building up a lot quickly for Sneaky. Speaking of which, already at 60% on that teleporter. 2 kills going their way, and it seems the patented triple support is working out for them finally. They can't really pull that stuff up on a Lijiang, but maybe on Gibraltar, absolutely. And just as I say that, Widowmaker does get the kill into Goat Pounder. That's actually pretty huge. A lot of their DPS and kind of anti-flanker setup they're going for. Storm Shield hasn't picked a hero yet. I'm unsure if, yep, she's disconnected, or him. I'm sure.
Yeah, it seems as though they're going to call for a timeout here.
Yeah.
We do have both teams stopping on the play, so we'll see how that looks.
They are still running the Torb on attack. I'm not sure if they're just goofing around. Might seem that way though. The Hanzo duel won by Captain Crunch, and it looks like they are going to call for a restart on the game here. Unfortunate disconnection. Not sure of the circumstances they were in.
Okay. Yeah, it looks as though I am going to have to hop off here kind of early. Something just came up, but I will leave it to you, man. So hopefully it's all going well.
Alright, well.
Nice.
Sorry about that, man.
It's all good. Thank you for coming by. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, man. You guys have fun. Practice makes perfect.
Alright. We'll take care.
You're doing pretty well. Pretty good, actually.
We're just waiting on, we're just waiting to see if they're going to come back, is all. If they're, I messaged them, and so far, I didn't hear back.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm just gonna go for a little bathroom break.
How's streaming going so far? Looks like they got that person back.
Oh, never mind.
Alright. We're back.
Easy.
Arriving at Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Alright, so we're back here, Watchpoint Gibraltar, Game 2. We do have a sub-I Venison. I'm unsure if he was in the group before, but nonetheless, 6v6 standard Overwatch play here between Fibs and Velocity. We'll see if they keep the same comp. Name, date, age going back to that Genji instead of the Hanzo. Lion Claw back on the Zarya, and they do have a Widow still. Running triple DPS here if you count the Widow's DPS, which I think we can all agree on that she is. Velocity is still rocking that triple support. No Reinhardt this time though. They're going to be rolling with the Winston, probably expecting the Genji. Sees name, date, age is going to run Lucio instead this time, and Distortions and Venison going to have to make up for that DPS. A much more standard comp, kind of half dive. I guess they're still swapping around. Without a Reinhardt shield, this first point here on the choke is a little bit more difficult to contain, but they can definitely counter any dive, so they should be able to hold at least a certain amount of meterage, or a decent amount of meterage, with the comp that they are rolling, because they're expecting them to dive in, and not just roll the point with the standard comp that you have a Reinhardt shield and a whole bunch of DPS behind it, so they are going to roll the Genji with the Winston and the Zenyatta Lucio, pretty much a dive comp here with the exception of the Widowmaker, which can help dive. She gets some picks, she will get the sidelines. An instant kill onto West Nile. Name, date, age back on that again. Winston not able to be there to peel. He died very, very quickly. But the Winston is going to dive onto the Widowmaker in the backline, gets her down. Shrimp Fried Rice going down. Zarya. Tank's not really there to protect his team since the Winston had jumped in to kill the enemy Widowmaker, and Zarya being dropped. Symmetra not being able to have any peel for her, and it just seems Velocity is dropping right now. They're trying to recuperate, trying to hold here at the gate, at the door. Very clean execution so far. The counter dive didn't really work out that well, I think maybe because they did have the Winston jump in instead of peel for the supports, but they are going to have a Tracer now instead of the Widowmaker. A full-on dive comp right now. She got some early picks, and Winston instantly drops again. The Zenyatta were doing a whole lot of work to keep these guys down. Another kill onto West Nile. They do lose the Lucio, but they are getting the important kills. They are going to get the really bad spawn very far away from the second point, while the Lucio and anyone that drops from Fib is going to spawn right next to the payload here. and they're just gonna straight up almost team kill right there, a staggered team kill if I may say so, and they're just gonna roll through the second point. Winston jumping onto the high ground, trying to scope out where they're gonna be at. Tracer following him, drops back down to the payload, 3 people on payload to get it moving as quickly as possible. Genji following the Winston up here to the high ground, trying to get some picks with that Orb of Harmony on him. It seems all of them are going here onto the high ground. Pulse Bomb dropped, goes very low, but she does recall to get that health back. Go Pounder does instantly drop, they have no mercy, they have no heal for this backline, and they're just going to get slashed and diced by the Genji, and the payload is just going to smoothly roll in. Reborn is trying to stall this for as long as he can, but he's leaping and jumping away from the point. It's still moving, unfortunately. I don't think it would have mattered too much. He does manage to leap back in just in time. 0.23 meters from reaching the second checkpoint, but their sneaky still dies in the end. Everyone's kind of recuperated here on the payload, trying to hold on. The Graviton does drop, gets everyone from velocity, and they all instantly die. The Pulse Bomb doesn't catch anybody, but the Genji damage slicing everybody will get the kills in the end. A staggered kill onto Sneaky, that's going to hurt him quite a bit. He won't be able to set up his turrets as much. Still investing a whole lot onto the Symmetra that isn't really working out despite them having heroes that are countered by Symmetra, such as Tracer and Genji, just not being able to set up her turrets and help herself. She can't really 1v1 a Genji or a Tracer without the aid of the slowdown effect of her turrets. And 5 minutes here onto the third point, already getting past the choke. This is looking very grim for Velocity if they don't kind of keep it rolling. The Dragon does come through, catches Name Date Age, that had that Dragon Blade, a very important kill. Lucy Ultimate gets dropped, trying to keep everybody alive. A bit unnecessary, if you ask me. They had already lost 2 people on the side of Fibs. They didn't really have an ongoing fight they had to win. He might have popped it to save himself or a teammate, but Zarya getting extremely low, and so is Go Pounder at half there. They're kind of have to back up here for a little bit. But they do manage to restabilize. Winston dropping in onto the high ground, trying to dive the backline, but is all by himself, is going to get discorded in. Probably going to drop here very soon. He does manage to pop his ultimate, proccing the Zenyatta ultimate, or at least, there goes another Graviton Surge right after the point. They instantly kill Go Pounder and Reborn, leaving no front line, leaving no Lucio heals to try to keep everybody alive. The Tracer swamp to the Pharah is picking up kills left and right. The payload isn't moving just yet as Sneaky's being sneaky with the Reaper, trying to buy as much time as he can, but even in raid form, he's going to get killed instantly as he comes out of it. Reborn coming in with a Winston ultimate, trying to keep everybody alive. Well, not trying to keep everybody alive. The Zenyatta's trying to keep everybody alive. Well, Winston is trying to keep himself alive and moving everybody off the point. The Graviton grabs everybody, but there's no damage follow-up. Crafting Crunch dies. Wetmel dies with a reflected dragon from Name Date Age. They weren't able to combo that. The Genji was in there to counter, and everybody is just dying. Captain Crunch trying to buy as much time as he can, but the payload does look like it's going to get right onto point C with 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. A very healthy time bank here, and a very tough goal for Velocity to beat. 3 checkpoints. Something you don't see on Gibraltar every day. I would say at least half of the time. It gets stalled out halfway through point C at that very infamous choke. However, we're going to see what they do now on the defense. Of course, the dive comp is very effective at, well, diving and attacking. We'll see if they do exactly the same thing for defense. And it looks like they might consider it, although they're swapping onto the Soldier for a little bit of more sustained damage to the front line. Captain Crunch, considering the Sombra, he is known for playing Sombra quite a bit in these hybrid maps and escort maps. Not so much the control maps or King of the Hill maps, where he usually plays a tank or Symmetra. Reborn hovering the Roadhog, though I highly doubt he's going to pick it. Not one of his known 4 heroes, and not very meta right now, at least. Pretty standard comp coming out of here for Fibs. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and that's exactly what they're going for, with the exception of this Soldier swap. Goat Pounder running the attack Junkrat, his kind of pocket pick, I would say. He was playing healer last round, so We'll see if this role swap will do him any good. We'll see if he sticks. We'll see if Reborn sticks with the Roadhog. Very unlikely, but we'll see. Roadhog can still be very effective if you have good communication. You could hook someone into your team. You can, hook 2.0 still exists. You can turn them around towards a more favorable position. But here we see Velocity out the gates. Zarya, everybody on the high ground. Genji on the sidelines, already looking for a pick onto the Sombra. Sombra going very low, does manage to get dropped. Not Sombra, sorry, the Winston does get dropped on the side of Fibs. That's a very important kill right there. They don't have a whole lot of front line now. Zarya, all she can do is kind of peel for the backline with her shields, but once those are on cooldown, it's kind of free reign. Soldier here getting hits for free. Reborn does miss the hook onto that Soldier, but Goatpounder will jump right up to try to contest him, but does get taken out by Name Date Age. Sorry, not Name Date Age. As he swaps over to the Soldier and does get taken out as well. Venison now on the Genji. Manages to pick up a bunch of kills and help his team out here on the flank. Reborn does get drops on that Roadhog. 50% ultimate built up. Reaper now chosen by Goatpounder instead of the Junkrat. Sneaky nearing that 100% for the Resurrect. He does have it now. They get a kill onto Flop Flop. This could actually be a very important one because if they get picks like these, they can keep moving forward. Shrimford Rise does drop. They're still pushing forward. They have the spawn advantage. He hooks the Zarya in, unable to get the final kill. Genji stepping up front to deflect any damage they were trying to get onto that Zarya. Here comes the Graviton Surge, managed to catch about 3 people in. They instantly die. The late Dragon Blade does manage to get the Zenyatta. The Resurrect, it's 3 people. They're already back up. He does get the hook onto the Zarya, unable to get that finishing blow though. Roadhog popping his whole hog, trying to keep Soldier away, but will get melted down by the Zarya, Lucio, and the Soldier using his tactical visor. Sombra trying to get out of dodge using that invisibility. Zenyatta trying to find her with her orbs, but he's not going to be able to. Goes right back into the spawn. Does have that EMP. Although they should not have popped all those ultimates at once. They could have saved them up and used an EMP combo here, which is especially strong against Zarya and Zenyatta. They can instantly be killed, and here it goes. The EMP does go down. Doesn't manage to catch a whole lot of people. Distortion's with the ultimate available. They're probably going to drop it here soon. The Lucio ultimate if they do need it. And there it goes. Both supports using their defensive ultimates. Captain Crunch does get taken out in the end. Winston driving into the backline. Very weak on that Zenyatta. Probably going to die here. Manages to pop the Winston ultimate, now onto the Mercy, being cut off from the rest of her team. She's trying to fly back, but she's getting bopped and knocked out by the Winston in the corner. Meanwhile, they're getting pushed back here on the choke. Goatpounder does get dropped by the Zarya. Extremely high energy right now. Actually, not even that high energy. She just manages to get people into the perfect positions. Zenyatta getting that kill with a headshot. It's always nice to see some aggressive Zenyatta play. And this is it. They have 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining, and not even out of the choke point. They don't have the tools. They do have the Resurrect still. They do have the Graviton Surge, but they don't have that EMP. They do drop the Graviton Surge from the side of Fibs, and they do manage to catch about 4 people in there. Everybody dies at once with the help of the Dragon Blade and the Discord Orbs. Genji going onto the high ground almost kills the Zenyatta, who's in his spawn. Very demoralizing if you were on the side of Velocity here, but they're still pushing forward. The questionable Death Blossom just dropped before the Zarya ultimate. Doesn't even get a kill. They do get the kill onto the Genji, however, on the other side of the fight, but no one else kind of gets here. They do get the Resurrect. They have numbers advantage now. Reborn Soldier gets popped back up. The Tactical Visor does get Captain Crunch. 3 more kills. They no longer have the numbers advantage. Everyone's up on the side of Fibs. 10 seconds left. Genji's back into the fight. Of course, very mobile. Able to get back here onto the payload and barely any meterage. It seems, an overtime push seems kind of impossible at this point, and they're not even going to let them touch the car at this point. The Zenyatta ultimate popped in a last-ditch effort to get onto the car, but nevertheless, extremely dominant showing here from Fibs onto Velocity. The individual plays are kind of making the entire team rise. The Genji picks winning nearly all of the duels, the Soldier being able to pump out damage uncontested onto the high ground, and the Zarya keeping those bubbles up all the time, the fantastic Zenyatta discords. And here we see the play of the game absolutely catches everybody when they just had come back for a normal team fight. they just get instantly wiped. You have been probed indeed, my friend. Impressive game here by Fibs. Very dominant second showing, not even 9 minutes long. We're gonna get back to the lobby here and see what happens next. Velocity definitely have to rethink their strategy. Their hero pools switching too much. A couple of questionable picks, but definitely on point on the side of Fibs. So the Scrim is based around velocity, so we're gonna see some teammates being swapped around. Now they're gonna go up against IGHM. Seeing some swaps in velocity as well. We're gonna see what roster they come up with.
Hey, we're just waiting on GM.
I see.
Yep. I mean, we were both IGHM and the people we just played against. They all play like at a higher level tournaments, so we're just really doing it to see what we need to work on. Even though they're gonna stomp, influence is probably gonna be no different, I'd assume. But Berserk is the one that we're actually hoping to go head to head with.
I see. Are you guys gonna keep the same roster, or?
No, we're switching the people. What do you mean roster? Characters or?
No, like players.
Yeah. Oh no, we're switching captain in and out.
I see.
We're all switching back and forth because we have 7 people, so we're just seeing how that goes.
So you're gonna
IGHM
go
has a lead
against
tank.
IGHM now?
Yep, they're past tournament winners. They just won the Master or the Diamond and Master and up tournament, but they're people that we practice against a lot, and they usually tell us what we need to work on, and overall they help us. We're about to have the same coaches as them. Their coaches were looking for another team, and IGHM put a good word for us, so we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna go ahead and go back to game chat. And
Okay. I'll be here
we'll
once the
start
game
soon.
starts, I guess.
Yep. How's streaming going? How's commentating?
Well, it's a lot quieter now. I mean, in my head, I guess, because I'm the only one. I have to say everything, but it's going good.
No worries. No worries. All right.
I mean, I hope it is going good.
No worries. It sounds like it's going good. I mean, we'll look back and see. Usually there's two
From the
commentators.
first game, from what I saw, he is doing good. So.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear snippets whenever we begin games, so I'm gonna go back to the game chat. I'm gonna go talk to Plague as well and see what's up.
All right.
Oh no.
What a classic name. ZZX Lone Wolf X ZZ.
Yeah, keep it
That's how you-
simple, right?
Yeah, that's how you know you're on console.
That's weird. My TV just turned off on by itself. There we go.
I wonder who tank main plays. Hopefully Torbjorn. I think Velocity might need some scrap.
Maybe.
The secret weapon, the secret ingredient.
Scraps. Tank main?
Route 66.
Ooh, escort. Alright. Alright. Going to party chat.
Traveling to Route
Alright.
66.
Well, welcome back to another game. This is Velocity's third game, this time against another team, IGHM. New clean slate, hopefully, for them after those 2 back-to-back losses against Fibs. Route 66, an escort map, a different category as well, so completely new experience for them. Well, not completely new, as they just played on Gibraltar, but map they haven't played in a bit. Taking a look at comps here, kind of hard to predict, at least on the attacker side, as everyone likes to pick around some odd characters, such as Widow or Torbjorn. Some scrap is always good, always got to keep some scrap in mind. But both teams looking with a pretty aggressive comp.
Now show them.
Tank main on the D.Va and the classic Winston. We actually haven't seen a whole lot of D.Va today. I don't think either team has picked them. I think Fibs picked D.Va on Li Zhang on the first point, but after that, the Zarya was just kind of the mainstay for both teams. We saw a little bit of Roadhog as well, not as much D.Va, which is what I think everybody expected with these comps. Fatty Magoo going to be playing the Genji character. Doesn't usually play. We're going to see how that goes. Red team on the attack, so Go Pounder with his very classic Pharah. Gonna have that Mercy to aid him out in the sky, and they're gonna have the Zenyatta on the ground, throwing around those Discord orbs, and they're just gonna hop right onto the payload here. Both team comps have been scouted out. Pharah, Mercy on both sides. Alloy Light, already 20% on that ultimate. Go Pounder still at that 5%, hasn't been able to get any shots in. Tracer flanking in on the back, getting up to Shrimp Fried Rice, dropping low, already dies, and Zenyatta very close to dying as well, does get picked off as well. Here comes the Winston onto the off lane. Everybody's kind of going down on the side of Velocity. A very scrappy fight, very difficult to kind of find the right angle here, but that very early on pick from the flanking Tracer from the high ground, they didn't have anybody on that high ground to kind of stay watch, which is kind of odd, having a Pharah that can't really, that didn't, not they can't, but a Pharah that didn't really spot that out. Of course, Tracer is as sneaky as ever and managed to get that early kill onto the Mercy, and that just kind of snowballed the fight. Without that main healer, Zenyatta can't really do much besides put Discord orbs, and they just kind of lost the fight. Of course, IGHM already had the ground advantage. Fatty Magoo swapping onto the McCree, so they're running double hit scan, Go Pounder onto the Soldier now, already has 25% on that tactical visor. Dropping very low, however, being focused down. Does get healed up in time, but already dropping low again, getting very focused here by the Pharah Mercy combo. D.Va does get out of mech, a very unfortunate situation here. And West Nile gets dropped again by the Tracer. Rocket Barrage coming in, picks up 2 kills on the hit scan heroes that are supposed to counter her. Triple res on the side of Velocity, getting right back up there. They do equalize though, it's not really an advantage. They do get the kill now, so now they do have the numbers advantage. A kill being dropped on the side of Velocity as well. D.Va mech being popped into ultimate form. Tracer Bomb does get put out, but it gets no kills. double kill with a self-destruct. And Soldier just gets finished off by the Winston. Very scrappy fight, everyone's just kind of running around. And they're not coordinating their push very well, not protecting their backline as well as they should, especially against that Tracer. She's a very dangerous, especially against a Zenyatta, who's such a nice little hitbox for her to shoot at and get that instant kill. If he doesn't have his ultimate, he's pretty much dead every single time. Nearing ultimates here, finally, on the side of Velocity, so maybe we'll see a fight swayed in their favor now. Tactical Visor does get popped. Lucio ultimate popped to try to keep everybody alive. Mercy does get killed. That's a very important kill. Vivid going down. Deadeye being popped all the way in the back. Gets a kill into the Pharah. Very important kill there. Now being chased down by the Diva. Fatty Magoo in an awkward 1v1 in there. But the backline is getting destroyed here by Velocity. They finally get some meterage. Diva running away now to regroup with her team. The Mercy dying very early on in that fight was kind of what swayed everything in their favor. Every ultimate being popped by Velocity. They're getting the Diva mech back. They're getting all these ultimates now. And this might put the fight in their favor, the game in their favor. The Zenyatta ultimate does get dropped on top of the car to keep himself alive. Hammer swinging left and right. Shield being popped. Tank main shooting away mindlessly while Reinhardt kind of smacks her down. No kills coming in through yet, but Diva does get popped out of mech. Reinhardt going low. Actually being kept pretty healthy. Kills being traded on both sides. He does get killed off in the end before he could drop his ultimate, although it would have been a wasted one. An ultimate dropped right on top of the car instead of a Winston bubble. Doesn't get any kills, but the triple res does comes in, gets everybody back up and alive. They have an equalizer play though. Earthshatter gets dropped, gets absolutely no one. They lose the Reborn Soldier on the Reinhardt. They lose Fatty Magoo on the McCree, and they lose both healers, and this is looking like a last-ditch effort trying to stall the point out as much as they can, but with those rockets flying in on the same location, you're going to get taken out eventually, and the Winston rolling everything as well. Lucio ultimate being popped, and another very dominant performance by Velocity's enemies.
0-0. Switching sides.
We should have seen a different kind of swap for their comp here. They went double hit scan to counter the Pharah, but Pharah wasn't the only problem they had on their team. They had the Tracer constantly flanking. They had the Mercy constantly healing everybody up. They didn't have anything to kind of protect them against that. Maybe they needed a Lucio for the Tracer and maybe a Reaper for the Winston, kind of help them bust through that front line that doesn't have a shield. The Reinhardt pick was a smart pick just because he can freely use his ultimate. There's really nothing except the Winston barrier that's very easy to destroy to kind of block it, but it didn't really work out in the end. The one time that he did drop, it didn't really get anybody in, and not even the healers, so the fight just kind of went in their favor, into IGHM's favor.
Look at this team. We're gonna do great.
We're gonna see how they do on attack, though. They're still running the Pharmacy. The Pharmacy swap instantly was very interesting because they didn't have any hit scan to kind of counter the Pharah, so the only really thing that could kill the Pharah was the Diva, and Diva can't really do that if your Pharah is getting pocketed, so unless you lose on that Pharah duel, not really a whole lot that could really do anything for you, or at least against you, but they just decided to fully counter the Pharah and kind of leave everything behind. They do have Fatty Magoo with some scrap. This is clearly an ensured victory now, boys, for Velocity with the scrap on their side. Hammering away at the ground, hammering away at that turret for some cheeky early ult charge. But we'll see where he sets up. They're going to run a Widow to see if they get any early picks. And that could prove deadly for Velocity if one of their healers gets caught off guard here by a Widow. It's so short, the distance they have to run. They'll pretty much get to the choke at Big Earls at the sign pretty early on with no contest, but after that, there's barely any distance they have to cover. Pharah already going on in the back, the turret hammering away at her, no Mercy at her side just yet, but they're getting pushed away, and there she goes. Pharah being dropped, Winston diving onto the back line, trying to kill the Mercy, however the Mercy does manage to get away. Torbjorn busting away at that Winston in the back. He's trying to get the turret now, but Torbjorn being healed up. Winston dropping his shield and running away. The Diva will chase and finally get the kill onto him. That's a pretty decent stagger right there. However, the spawn is so close by, doesn't really hold a lot of ground. But Winston is a juicy target for some ult charge. Definitely a fight going in their favor anyway. The Torbjorn doing work against this Pharah, being able to kind of control the ground that she can run through. They have swapped to a McCree now instead of a Tracer. So we'll see how this goes. Pharah going down once again. The scrap making miracles. And they kind of realize the problem with the Torbjorn turret. They all take the high ground here on the big Earls. Both tanks kind of diving onto the backline, but they have to retreat or have no support. They do manage to get 2 kills, but the res comes back right back in. Tank main is out of his mech. Winston is dropped. West Nile is getting taken out, but they still have the numbers advantage. Tactical Visor being dropped. A double res on the side of IGHM. Fatty Magoo using the Molten Core, firing away at that team. They don't have any really shield to protect them. They don't have any real shields to kind of protect them, so they just kind of have to back away. They are launching the D.Va mech in hopes of destroying that ultimate, but they do get 2 kills in the end with the D.Va ultimate, and that could spell disaster. That's 3 kills here, 4. The turret is down now. D.Va ult being dropped. Deadeye catches the Zarya, and this looks like it's just going to roll right into the checkpoint. I don't think anyone can get onto here. Zenyatta trying his best to get on there, but being zip-zapped away with a Pharah on his head isn't really going to help. And they're kind of pushing forward, trying to deny Velocity to even get here onto the point. Tracer being chosen now, trying to dash back into the point. Mercy being zip-zapped by Winston. They're trying to contest the point as long as they can for the teammates to come in. They do manage to get the Pharah. Every kill's being dropped left, right, and center from both teams. Zarya now being put into play. The ultimate being used onto the point. Catches 4 people, but not really any kills coming through. Has no follow-up from Shrimp Fried Rice. Tracer does go down to the Winston. They managed to get the D.Va mech, so I guess it's kind of an equal on right now, but they're winning the fight still. Reborn Soldier does get taken down out of his mech and finally finished off. The Pharah ultimate comes in, kind of confirms the win for them, and they just roll right in it. Sneaky, trying his best to get in, but he's not going to be able to make it. Gets chased off by D.Va. And stopped at not even at the first checkpoint here by IGHM. A pretty convincing victory. And some odd choices from the side of Velocity here on their comp. They did manage to do a whole lot more in the second round, but on attack they kind of choked in a whole different situations. Soldier being zapped to death here by Mr. Tubbs on the side of IGHM, play of the match. All this damage being dropped by Winston. Of course, that 10 out of 10 tracking. 100% weapon accuracy, boys, on that Winston. D.Va dealing 30% of your entire team's damage is not a very good sign. Although she never has to reload, she has to spend most of her time peeling for her supports and her DPS and diving onto the backline whenever Winston and Zenyatta were available, but unfortunate circumstances there for Velocity on the first game, Route 66.
Oof. We have a lot of spectators now.
Yeah. Mega Mulani.
Mega Mulani, Rixa Huntress. Or Rhyhax Huntress, I mean. Whoops. Well, Yoda, you have any pointers of what happened last match?
Well, what I was saying is that maybe the picks for the round on attack were a bit off. Maybe a Reaper instead of the McCree Like, you didn't need so many counters to the Pharah Mercy, because the Tracer was a huge problem. A Lucio would have helped instead of a Zenyatta, since Tracer can just basically insta-kill a Zenyatta, such a nice little hitbox for her to just pump bullets into. Lucio helps a lot with Tracer, because AoE heal, and can just boop her away whenever she tries to flank, too. And he's very hard for her to hit, too, since he can just hippity hop, you know? So maybe a Lucio instead of a Zen, and a Reaper instead of a McCree for the Winston, because the Winston was diving too. So if they busted through that,
That's true. Yeah, Winston just dived in and literally just was peeling everyone at the back line with Tracer.
That's just my humble opinion.
No worries, man. We need opinions of everyone and everything.
Yeah. I got so confused that last game because you guys have been like blue, I think, every game, and then all of a sudden you were red, and I was like, oh wait. They kept getting the names confused.
It does that sometimes. From like custom games, it's like switches the colors around.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's because it switches to red for attackers, but
Now entering the
That's true.
temple of Anubis.
Alright.
I guess we'll see ya.
Yep.
Well, seems they've lost their tank main. Regardless, if he comes back or if they get a sub, this is Temple of Anubis, infamous map for a second point. See, Fatty already has the secret to success with the scrap. Ryhag's Huntress has joined their squad as Sombra now, replacing tank main. We're gonna see what they do on this map compared to what they did on Route 66. Fans of the dive comp as well, although they do have Lone Wolf on the Widow. Unsure, as always, if it's gonna be an actual pick or if it's just a meme. Can't be too careful with the memes nowadays, man. They're circling around the Winston and the Pharah, which was very good for them on the last map. They'll be running the Zenyatta instead of the Mercy this time around, and Lucio as well. The patented triple support comp for Velocity coming in here, Reborn on the Reinhardt. They do have Captain Crunch on the Sombra, so I guess you could call it a quad support, half DPS, with Fatty Magoo dealing tons of damage with the scrap. Gonna be coming through in clutch. Lucio having a spasm attack here at the spawn door. We're gonna get this game rolling. Temple of Anubis, Velocity versus IGHM. Already rushing through the point, they're all running left. Captain Crunch in the back line, invisible, almost gets picked off, but instantly right off the bat he does get a pick, and Fatty Magoo scrapping up that Lucio, 2 instant kills on the side of Velocity, a very different situation than what was happening last game, so this is the first 2 CP map of the night as well, holding that high ground on the choke. I heard Torbjorn say armor, so we already know he's scrounging for that scrap, and it seems IGHM have completely changed up their strategy, going right now. Sombra diving straight onto the point, being sneaky as ever, running all the way around, trying to see if she can find anything. Captain Crunch does get taken out by Tracer on this engage. Tracer hops right on the point, Fatty Magoo dropping extremely low, needs to scrap himself up some armor. This team fight's looking kind of awkward for them. They are a member down, so they do need to use the defender's advantage. Sneaky now down as well. Was not able to use his ultimate. Wasn't able to drop down that teleporter, and this might just spell disaster. Goat Pounder already down. The Mercy no longer in the fight. Reborn Soldier being taken down. Everybody's dying left, right, and center. They do manage to get 2 kills back in the end. Finisher of Rice killing the Tracer, and the turret scrapping up that Sombra, but I don't think it will matter. They will get this point in the end. However, they did stall for a little bit. Captain Crunch, trying his best to buy some time for his team, but everyone else is just going to set back up here on the second point. And if you play solo queue enough, you've seen this happen a number of times, so this isn't anything unfamiliar. Snowball first point. We'll see if they try to dive right into the second point. However, I don't think they have just enough yet. They do have ultimates. The only ultimate right now on the side of Velocity is that Molten Core. See if he can scrap anybody up, but there goes the bomb, instantly protected by the Reinhardt shield and the Molten Core. Zenyatta popping his ultimate, gets pinned, unfortunately, in his ultimate, so he doesn't die from it. Winston popping the ultimate, trying to destroy the turret, but he will get destroyed. Everybody from IGHM being scrapped. Shield generator being popped now, making everybody just a bit tankier, which is 75 HP additional. That does regenerate for every single team member. And it is annoying, but 75 health does make quite a difference. It is a very important ultimate to take out very early on, especially on a map like this where the defenders have such a huge advantage. It is essentially like having a 7th hero, a 7th player on your team with the combined health pools. The Torbjorn armor is extremely hard to counter as well. He can just keep collecting the scrap and keep everybody topped off with armor, which of course doesn't just give you more effective HP, but also gives you damage reduction from shots. And the EMP being dropped, everybody running around on the point. The team's kind of scrambled up right now. They're trying to get the shield generator, but it's being protected by the turrets. Lucio ultimate gets dropped. Fighting Magoo on the high ground, throwing down armor, putting the turret on the top of the pillar. A very difficult spot for them to get, especially to spot. Only D.Va really being able to get there. Not a whole lot of kills going on either way. It was kind of an awkward engage and then a disengage. A smart idea not to get staggered and not to give so much ult charge. They did bait out some ultimates. They do have that pulse bomb. However, now with the turret in its position, Tracer can't really get to it with a pulse bomb, so she has to either decide to get a pick onto the supports or the shield generator, which would be a pretty worthwhile effort, but she does whiff it onto the Mercy. Honestly, she should have just used it onto the shield generator and build it up. She can build it up very quickly, just as Symmetra can, so if she just managed to focus on the DPS side of things, she could have gotten another pulse bomb by the time she got another shield generator, but she just instead decides to try to get the supports, which is a valiant effort nonetheless. EMP does get dropped. Winston drops the bubble on top of the turret. Of course, Torbjorn in this spot can't really repair it all that well, and it doesn't even go down in the end. D.Va bomb gets dropped, but nothing's... Oh, they do get Fatty Magoo somehow. Didn't really manage to get protection from either of shields, the sneaky shield, the Symmetra projected barrier, or the Reinhardt. They are trying to get the shield generator, but D.Va will get taken out in the end, and they keep holding on strong.
They have a shield generator.
The 75 HP does make quite a huge difference. Say an example, if you're playing McCree and you stun 200 HP hero, you can't two-shot headshot them.
My shield generator has been destroyed.
Especially if it's a character like Symmetra with a armor on top of it, or a very important Mercy kill. Somehow Mercy doesn't have access to the shield generator right now. They did manage to destroy it. Winston dives onto the turret. Lucio trying to get a flank, will get booped. Will boop away the Sombra that's trying to kill him. They destroy the turret successfully. They do drop the Lucio ultimate. This is their push. They got Captain Crunch, and they have the turret. They have a huge advantage here. No shield generator to kind of help them save themselves. Resurrect does bring back Captain Crunch. Remorse Soldier does get taken out. No one's on the point yet. They do take out the Symmetra. Tracer is dead. That's a huge advantage here for Velocity. Almost a tick comes through. A different EMP comes in as well. Mercy being chased down. As well as Sombra by the Winston, zip-zapping away at them, but can't really get the kill. And once the D.Va dies, they will retreat. That was a really scrappy fight, kind of all over the place, in and out the point, behind the point. EMPs being dropped all over the place, but Defender's advantage does bring in those really quick respawns, and they manage to re-stabilize here. Torbjorn on scrap duty, dropping armor packs for everybody. Turret in a different spot this time. They've really been focusing on that turret.
They have a shield generator.
The shield generator should be a higher priority, in my opinion. But they do have that Molten Core now, so even if they do dive the turret may live if he does manage to proc it in time, unless he gets hacked, which he has been hacked right here. He's going back into the spawn room. Pulse bomb gets dropped, does get the shield generator. That's huge for them. EMP gets dropped on the side of Velocity. Doesn't get everybody though. Winston in the back trying to smack everybody off the point and trying to keep himself alive. He will make a swift escape there, as once again, D.Va dying marks the end of their push, and Lucio does get staggered down and hammered Restabilizing once again. The shield generator successfully destroyed, but Sneaky already halfway to getting another one. Captain Crunch does get picked off by the Mercy. He was very deep, almost into the enemy spawn, so I don't know what he was expecting with that one. Health pack underneath the bridge is not hacked, so they don't have that advantage right there, which is so huge whenever your Sombra is alive. However, it seems they're pushing her off it. They know she doesn't want. They don't want Symmetra to have that. Not Symmetra, sorry, Sombra. They don't want Sombra to have that health pack hacked. It's such a huge pushing tool. Reborn drops the ultimate. D.Va drops her ultimate as well. Somehow manages to get Sneaky out of a panic kill. Fatty Magoo killing the Reaper. However, the Pulse Bomb does get the Mercy. They have no Resurrect available. Graviton being dropped. EMP being dropped on top of the Graviton. Everybody's hacked. Everybody's dying. D.Va being smacked away, unable to defend herself or fly away. Lucio has the ultimate available and tries to do it. Gets killed by the turret. It is actually fortunate for him that he did get killed by the turret, though. They do manage to get a tick, but they still have the Lucio ultimate available, and they still have the res. They can make a final push here. And once again, in overtime, those defender spawns are much, much slower. They don't have a shield generator up and running, or actually they do. So they do manage to get those kills. Well, you know, they have a teleporter set up. Very interesting, probably a misclick. Reborn diving in with a pin, doesn't really catch anybody. Winston is hacked, being smacked away by the big German man. Does get the fat shatter, gets 3 people caught inside of it. Reaper instantly dies, Winston gets picked off secondly. The turret gets the D.Va mech, and everybody just drops instantly. The 5-man res, though, coming in from the side of IGHM. The Lucio sound barrier coming in to protect everybody. A secondary EMP on the side of Velocity. Does manage to get Reborn and Captain Crunch, though. That's a 2-man down. They might actually be able to pull this off with that amazing res. A triple res coming in from the side of Velocity. And they might be able to turn the fight this time around. They do get a kill. They lose one in the end, though. The teleporter does get destroyed, Captain Crunch gets destroyed, Sneaky gets destroyed, the Death Blossom coming in, killing absolutely everybody, the Winston ultimate trying to keep Reinhardt away from the point, and Reinhardt will just be absolutely destroyed, and it looks like they will capture it in overtime. Winston pushing them back into their spawn, and they do get the overtime cap on the side of IGHM. We've all been there when someone doesn't kill the Mercy after a wipe, and, well, you know what happened next. That was an amazing res, though. Velocity tried to equalize the play with a 3-man res, but it just wasn't there. The Reaper ultimate was there to counter that res, killed everyone. They didn't have a shield generator for the extra HP. A teleporter didn't really help anything on that overtime push. They got destroyed anyway. And IGHM manages to clutch it out. They do it in overtime, however, so if Velocity manages to capture both points, they will have a massive advantage, unless they cap it in overtime as well. So we'll have to see what happens here. A much more interesting game this time around. A lot more action-packed. Of course, the scrap always helps. Scrap makes everything better.
It is time to act.
As we all know. A couple of different picks here is something we haven't seen from either team. Well, not from either team, from the side of IGHM, with the McCree, Orisa, and the Junkrat. Looks like they're not going to be running a dive comp this time around for the defense. They're just going to run some more stationary heroes. Mr. Tubbs still on the waiting side of things, hasn't been hit, and there we go. He will go back to his Winston. Junkrat trying to set up a cheeky little trap at the spawn. Not at the spawn, but at the beginning choke. Junkrat, of course, so good on Temple of Anubis, especially on the right side defenders, or at least on, better said, the defenders' right side here, where he can just spam grenades blindly and do so much damage, build up his ulti so quickly, and so many corners and crevices where he can kind of sneak in a trap and get an instant kill on those 200 HP targets. Winston kind of waiting in on the flank. We do see Fatty Magoo on the Pharah, and Goat Pounder on the Zenyatta this time around. Torbjorn dropped his turret on the choke. They don't have any shields for it, as they did swap the Orisa over to the D.Va. Junkrat doing a whole lot of work, already halfway to his ultimate, And, well, we've all been there as well. McCree dropping low, getting healed up. The turret does get Fatty Magoo. Kills being traded here, but in favor of IGHM, because they only lose one. As a McCree, he can roll back up to the choke. Very interesting fight going down here at the choke. Reinhardt dropping very low, will get taken down along Shrimp Fried Rice and Sneaky. An absolutely terrible stagger. They can't really do anything right now. They have to wait on those respawns. And the Riptire there going off, killing Captain Crunch. An even deeper stagger on an immobile hero that can't really get back up to the choke that quickly. Even though they are close to the point, they will have to wait on him. And it just kind of gives IJHM the advantage to kind of set up once again where they want to be. And no shield defending the turret, but it doesn't even matter when you're getting dove on and killed that way and staggered out. The D.Va will offer some sort of protection. Winston will leap back, and 2 kills being traded once again. The Torbjorn picking up the kill onto the Reinhardt of all things. Captain Crunch being killed once again by the Junkrat on this Hanzo. Winston on the high ground, kind of scoping everybody out, seeing if he can catch anyone out of position. And although he's very clearly seen, he kind of goes forgotten because he's Winston. And a Winston kind of hanging out on a ledge isn't really a tough priority for a lot of people, but he is zip-zapping away with that max range connected damage. And he's still waiting here on the sidelines. He's just waiting to catch somebody out of position, and as soon as the tanks go out, he just goes onto the backline and instantly kills the Mercy. Now working on this Hanzo. He might actually lose the duel, but it doesn't really look that way. Hanzo still got the health back, and he will proc that Winston ultimate. He is all the way in the back fighting. The Hanzo will kill him in the end. Does use his ultimate. Molten Core being dropped. Reinhardt being stunned on the way in on his dive. He will get singled out here. No healers to help him out as he did die early on. Sneaky sneaking onto the point here. Winston jumping in, the Zenyatta instantly dying, and unfortunately with a huge numbers advantage, they don't get the correct res, and only res is 1 to be instantly killed again by the Riptires. Such a good answer to a Mercy Resurrect as well as a Deadeye. So they have to be very careful here on the side of Velocity. They have 2 ultimates that can just instantly catch you as soon as you are targetable from a Mercy Resurrect, such as the Junkrat Tire and the Deadeye as mentioned before. And Winston again, just waiting on that. They need to prioritize this Winston, especially with the Discord Orbs. They just need somebody to shoot him up and bait him in. They have to go in, and then as soon as he jumps in on the supports, everybody needs to do a 180-degree turn and take him out. He's just doing too much work here. Fatty Magoo swapping onto the Reaper, but gets taken out very, very quickly. Captain Crunch being zapped to death and shot by a turret once again, getting scrapped up. His own love turned against him. Winston finally does get killed. But at what cost? Everybody else is dropping like flies. They only have 20 seconds here. They have a numbers disadvantage. They're still getting staggered, somehow pushing in for no reason after they've lost so many numbers. He does manage to get a double kill pin on the McCree and the Junkrat, however. I don't think it'll matter. The dragon does get dropped from spawn, but nothing else will change. Fatty Magoo, once again, coming in, getting dropped. And the Zenyatta ultimate, last-ditch effort trying to get onto the point, unfortunately won't be fast enough. Not even the Zarya, who was almost there, does get cut off. An unfortunate 0-2 loss for Velocity, but a very dominating win, a very dominant victory here for IGHM on the second map, Temple of Anubis. A lack of coordination, a lack of communication from Velocity kind of spelled their demise as they kept going in. I just noticed his name is Vivio, not Vivid. Well, Vivid does sound cooler. Here we see the 5-man res that completely turned around the first point, or the first round, sorry, the second point of the first round. Doesn't even get hacked. Uncontested in the backline, healing everybody up. Fatty Magoo, he tried to scrap it, man. He really did, but unfortunately, it didn't really end well for them.
There we go. Well done.
Hello.
Yoda.
Sneaky. Swapping West Nile?
Possibly.
They swapped out tank main.
Yeah, for Ryax Huntress?
Yeah. God, I don't know why I can't take Plague Influence seriously just because there's this one very crappy Japanese game that a friend of mine, this guy just ran up to him on campus that he didn't even know and just gave him, hey, you want this, take it, and he just gave him this like PS3 Japanese game called Nobunaga Spear of Influence. And whenever I read Plague Influence, it just reminds me of that, and I can't. I just laugh in my head. It's like a little giggle.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Here's a PS3
Nobunaga Spear of
and
Influence.
this. Wow. Am I in this one? Yeah, I am. Alright.
Alright, I'll see you on the other side, my friend.
Yeah.
So welcome back to Velocity Scrims. This is our first hybrid map of the night. Fifth map. Fifth game. Second game. Third game, my bad, against IGHM. A quote-unquote sister team, according to Team Captain Goat Pounder to them. So it's a friendly scrim, here for a learning experience, educational purposes, everybody. We're gonna see what they run here.
Justice will be done.
Velocity on the attacking side of things, Reborn on his classic Reinhardt. A bit of nerves, I can tell, from the previous game. Not as confident as with the Reinhardt. Did manage to get some plays done, however. Tracer, lone wolf on the side of IGHM with the honorary suicide. With the Tracer. Zarya trying to hurt herself. The poor thing. Is trying to make amends for her terrible past by chucking balls in her face from her own weapon. Unfortunately for her, she does have a shield, which will regen and will heal all wounds. Not all wounds, but enough and too many to count. So, 10 seconds here. Everybody's getting ready to roll. Goat Pounder on healing roll once again. Always makes me giggle. I don't know why. When a Junkrat main plays. The cheeky Widow Shot doesn't manage to get anybody. Does give them the information though. Reinhardt's on both sides this time around. Alloy Light not on that Pharah. Gonna be playing a tank this time around. They're gonna be running the double support, double tank. The game
Wes.
canceled. Wait, what? Hello? What's happening?
Wes wasn't with us. We'll be coming back to it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was kind of confused. I was like,
Yeah, Wes
dude.
wasn't there. We're waiting for Wes to come back, sorry.
Oh, good.
You could leave me a goat. Never mind. So anyways, yeah, we're waiting on West Nile virus. Or we're subbing him out.
Traveling
we're back on Eichenwald. Fifth map of the night, fifth match of the night. Third map, Velocity versus IGHM. As I was mentioning before, sister team, quote unquote, according to Goat Pounder, team captain of Velocity. We'll see if Tracer and Mr. Tubbs do try to hurt themselves. Fatty Magoo trying to amend for his past sins here this time around. That floor is a great enemy of his. Sneaky on the Pharah.
I grow tired of waiting.
They're swapping things up around a little bit, except Captain Crunch on his Hanzo. Reborn Soldier on his Reinhardt once again. Alloy Light on the Reinhardt as well, so we're going to see some very intense hammer smackage coming up. No scrap, unfortunately, so far. They're going to run the defensive Widow. Widow on first point Eichenwald can work for defense. I'm unaware if I was a bit redundant, but she does have very good sidelines for both flanks and the main choke. So she can work, not so much on the attacking side, but if you're good at the hook shot and killing people from very high up, she is insanely powerful for second point and beyond. Just because of the castle, the high ground is unmatched. But let's get right into it. She tried once again to get the little cheek headshot, was unable to. Tracer in the back doing work, already killing the Hanzo, and the Widow does get the pick onto the Lucio. Reborn trying to smack this Tracer up, but she will get out of dodge and instead will kill Shrimp Fried Rice at the hands of Reinhardt. They're just going to contest a bit above choke here. Tracer in the back doing work, being annoying as ever, and won't even be taken down. Tracer almost at that pulse bomb, and if she's going to behave the same way she's behaving this time around, she's probably going to try to stick to Reinhardt with the supports, and that's going to create quite an interesting stagger. He does get a pin onto the Zarya. However, it won't really matter. Zarya on the enemy team does get pinned out. Captain Crunch is taken out once again by the Tracer. Now the fight's moving on to the point. Alloy Light gets dropped away. Mercy almost had that resurrect, but it's taken out right before she manages to get it. Pulse bomb being dropped. Rez on the side of Velocity, and everybody's here. Fatty Magoo does get dropped by the Widowmaker. Gets it right back up into the fight. Now the fight's on the point. Lucio trying to stall as long as he can, but Reinhardt's hammer will find him eventually. Ultimate does get negated by the Zarya bubble onto the Lucio, so they aren't even able to catch a slippery frog. Reborn does get a decent pin. Manages to get the Widowmaker, so no sidelines for her anymore. The triple res coming in on the side of IGHM, though, gets everybody back up and running. And now, with full HP, they might be able to turn the fight. Lone Wolf firing away freely. Reborn Soldier will get stroked. And now Velocity is on the retreat. And, well, he took the expressway out. Alloy Light will get back here, though, by the time Velocity does get regrouped and running, as Fatty Magoo was... Not Fatty Magoo, sorry. Shrimp Fried Rice was staggered on that kill. Lucio and Zarya ulti being dropped, the choke. Go Pounder instantly killed by the Widow Mine, of all things, and he does get a second kill onto the Hanzo. This Widowmaker making it work with these sidelines once again. The Reinhardt trying to smack the Tracer to death, but she can just zip-zap all over the place. Sneaky gets dropped, Alloy Light gets dropped. There's no Resurrect on the side of Vivio, but he will get it just right now. He will bring back Alloy Light. He needs it. He needs to stay alive. He needs this tank to be up in the front line, feeling for him. He keeps smacking at the Reinhardt, does manage to get the pin, kills Reborn Soldier on that Reinhardt as well. And Captain Crunch getting bullied to no end by this Tracer and the Widowmaker, just getting killed each and every single time, but yet refusing to swap. The Pulse Bomb gets dropped onto a Reaper, of all things. I don't see that very often. I don't know about you guys, but does manage to get the kill onto the Reaper. And everybody's being staggered so much. Goat Pounder and Sneaky, both healers unavailable. They can't push like this. They can't really do anything right now. They have to regroup. They have to recuperate. Fatty on the Zarya. has the ultimate. They do have the big combo. They need to make this work. However, Vivio almost did another resurrect. If they don't catch him inside of that Graviton, it might not work. Every single ultimate being dropped at once. They do manage to get everybody in it. Big plays on the side of Velocity here. They managed to get an entire team kill. The triple dragon does make it work. And with just under 20 seconds remaining, now 10 seconds, they will capture the first point. Reborn flexing on them boys. And they will get the payload moving finally. That was such a clutch ulti combo right there. They use half of their ultimates, but they still hold on to the resurrect. They still have the death blossom. They still have the sound barrier. They can still make this push work. And now we see another Earth Shatter coming down. Health bar's dropping very low. Doesn't manage to get Shrimp Fried Rice inside of the sound barrier just in time. But they will revive him right back up as Alloy and Plague Influence die. The double res does come back in. The numbers are equalized now. Death Blossom being dropped. Lucio Ultimate being dropped to counter the Death Blossom. Ripper does go down. Reborn Soldier was not able to keep his shield up to peel for that Reaper. That was very close to dying. Widowmaker uncontested on this high ground on the castle, like I mentioned before, just has so much freedom here to pop her shots. Vivio with the Battle Mercy onto the big German man does manage to defeat him. And the payload isn't even out of the gate just yet. It's such a long delay, and that was such a long fight that nobody really was on the payload. It kind of just happened right in front of the castle. And Reaper trying to get a flank on to the Widowmaker and get her off of that high ground, but the Lucio right there to provide some backup and actually chasing down this Reaper. He manages to get the health pack. Graviton being dropped, both Reinhardt smacking each other to death. The Scatter Arrow does manage to get the healer, both healers down, both healers on both teams, and kills are going back and forth. However, Velocity does have the attacker's advantage spawn here. They do spawn closer to the point. Reborn does get dropped, and they are going to be able to continue this push at all. Shrimp Fried Rice actually sneaking the payload a couple meters, and Tracer will find him in the end, though. He will have to Wraith form out onto the health pack. Will he live, being chased down by 3 members, but they're going to find the entire team of Velocity waiting for them in their spawn. Reinhardt smacking away freely, but revealed by the Widowmaker ultimate. Still making it work, still on this high ground, protected by a Reinhardt now. Absolutely nothing that can get to her unless he gets absolutely flanked. Go Pounder dropping the Lucio ultimate, trying to keep everybody alive as they were dropping low on health bars. The Rein shield being low. Gets Zarya's shield to try to protect him for a little bit longer. Widow still popping shots for free, nobody able to take her down. The Reinhardt ultimate gets absolutely whipped on the side of IGHM. Absolutely terrible decision right there. Both Reinhardts down on both teams. However, they do get the single res onto Reborn Soldier, and they get the kill onto the Mercy. Very important here. They could actually make a pretty decent push here in overtime. They need to kill this Lucio who's contesting the point constantly. They finally get smacked down, shot by Shrimp Fried Rice on that Reaper, and they will continue to push. Tracer trying to be as annoying as ever, but she's not giving her life, so she decides to run away. Widowmaker finally dropped by Hanzo with a nice headshot. Reinhardt here all by himself will eventually die. Mercy gets killed again, unable to resurrect. She still has it available. Shrimp Fried Rice going extremely low, has that Death Blossom, will get taken out in the end by a Lucio, of all things. He might not have time to get back here in time. That's a bit redundant, but Tracer is running around the payload. Reborn is trying to smack her down, but as persistent as ever. Captain Crunch trying to get a scatter shot kill onto her, but they do end up getting co-pounded. Almost the overtime gets run out. Nobody was on the payload. Now Reborn making sure he stays on the payload. Graviton being dropped, Lucio Ultimate being dropped, but everybody on the side of Velocity is dying, and they will die on the bridge. The round will end, and the push will stop permanently for now, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But
Switching sides.
that's first round Eichenwald. A decent hold for IGHM. Of course, this castle phase with heroes such as Widowmaker, Soldier, and McCree, very difficult to push with unless you contest that high ground. Absolutely nothing they could do because he was so well protected, so well positioned. His teammates, you know, the Lucio was there to boop anyone that came close to heal her up in case she got hit by a Hanzo body shot or something like that and lost a duel. But Reinhardt giving her shields. Widow does a lot of damage, and especially to tanks that are so easy to hit with those headshots, she could rely on hitting at least one headshot in Tracer and just finishing up that kill. A very difficult comp to play against, but a perfect comp to play Winston into. I'm surprised Velocity didn't think of that, or at least consider playing it. Reborn loves playing Winston, loves punishing those Tracers and things like that, but didn't actually pick it and opted to stay Reinhardt the entire round. Goat Pounder on the Reaper now. He has swapped roles and heroes all night. We'll see if he keeps doing that. Fatty Magoo, of course, with the scrap. They can't lose now. Reborn on the Orisa. A pretty standard comp here. The patented, once again, triple support scrap comp for Velocity. The One Wolf hasn't picked yet, however he has been popular on the Tracer. We'll see if he runs it again. Rehax Hunter on the Genji. They are going absolute dive comp with the exception of Mercy, for the Resurrect that has been very effective on here. Reinhardt diving straight onto the enemy team, and they will pick up 2 kills. Fatty Magoo will drop, but the turret's scrapping absolutely everyone. Gets a kill onto Mr. Tubbs and Alloy Light. No tanks to protect the front line. And the Genji manages to deflect the turret into the Mercy. Get that kill there. He's still running around in the back line. Lucio on this point will get chased off by the Symmetra. Tracer now on the point manages to get the kill onto Goat Pounder. And Reborn's dying in the front line. This could actually spell disaster for them. They don't have any front line here now. Everybody's gonna diving in now. Shrimp Fried Rice and Lazaria going onto the point. Reinhardt smacking away, displacing everybody. Vivid does die. Captain Crunch does go down. Fatty Magoo does go down as well. As long as his turret, so this does look like it's going to be first point for IGHM. It's only Zarya. She can only bubble herself for so long, unfortunately. And Reaper coming right back in. Raping around, trying to buy as much time as he can for his team. Reborn finally back in here with his butterskin on, trying to buy as much time as well. Does get dropped instantly though. He is so low. Teleporter being dropped. They're going to try to contest. Fatty Magoo trying to scrap everybody up with the Molten Core. He is getting focused down very hard. Gets killed very quickly. Reinhardt and Lucio being a little BM. They do resurrect the Torbjorn. They're investing so much into this. The teleporter being dropped. Mercy gets killed by the Earthshatter. She does get put down. She isn't killed, actually. Zarya still in the back, still alive. Reborn does get killed. Bomb goes down. Turret down. Everybody's down. It's just an absolute massacre what's going on here. Everybody's staggered. And that's going to be first point for IGHM. They're moving it up. Reinhardt trying to give Mercy a little love smack, whatever that is. They will swap Reborn onto the D.Va now. The Orisa didn't really work out. Sneaky dropping very low, will get killed off by Tracer. This Tracer being such a problem for them. Killing absolutely everybody. Fatty Magoo now on the Tracer, halfway to another pulse bomb, but the Tracer got the Mercy, got the Reaper, got the D.Va mech, uncontested, and just staggering everybody so far away from the payload. An absolute one-man army over here. Well, actually not one-man army. She does have the support of their other teammates. The dive comp succeeds once again. The Winston Genji and the Lucio now being joined up by the Mercy in the front lines of all things. Reborn Soldier trying to get the kill onto that Mercy, but she will slather away with the help of Winston. Fatty Magoo losing the Tracer duel, everybody dropping, the payload getting so much meterage for free. Reinhardt just kind of having the time of his life, not really doing anything, and just pushing the payload all by himself. Can't right now. And that looked like game. They do get 3 kills. The Graviton trying to be cheeky and pull everybody off. The Winston ultimate trying to keep himself alive and keep this payload moving. Tracer still moving around, rocking everybody around. The Lucy ultimate does get dropped, trying to keep everybody up. The Graviton damage does manage to take out Reinhardt. Pulse bomb being dropped on the Winston, dropping very low, but the Mercy right there next to him. The Resurrect does come down onto the Zarya, zip-zapping everybody away. Kills being dropped on the side of IGHM. The Tracer running around the point, trying to keep it moving. Reborn being pocketed by the Mercy, trying to keep this Dream alive, peeling for the Mercy, and trying to kill the Tracer at the same time. Winston just dropped back in. Goat Pounder on the Pharah now gets instantly killed. The Teleporter gets destroyed by the Genji. Plague Influence being dropped by Fatty Magoo. Shrimp Fried Rice being dropped by the Tracer, and everybody's dying on the side of Velocity. Their ultimate does get dropped by D.Va, trying to buy time and stay alive on this point. He does use it, doesn't get anybody. Still trying to stay alive for as long as possible. Does die. Dragon Blade pop to ensure that he does not survive out of the mech. He dies instantly. Captain Crunch swapped to the Soldier, trying to sprint back there in time, but unfortunately for them, that's going to be the game. They do manage to push all the way to half of the bridge and beat their score. Velocity, they definitely have to rethink their strategy, rethink their roster, rethink their hero pools. Reborn Soldier flexing on them boys still with the play of the match. This has got to be that one play, very calculated here, absolutely waits for the perfect moment. The flanking Reinhardt absolutely won them that first point. When it was looking grim, he manages to get the clutch ultimate that at least secured them the payload for the first round.
Nice to be appreciated.
It is nice to be appreciated, Mercy.
Oof.
Hey, man.
Hey.
All right.
Alright. I saw that Panda 1 Bear was in here.
I think I saw her join. I don't know if she's still here. She's spectating the game. No, she's not here anymore, but she was spectating. Like, she is spectating.
Yeah, I just invited her. I saw her in the party chat, so I was assuming she wanted to spectate. Okay. Oh.
So we're just gonna roll straight into the game?
Okay then.
Another Eichenwald?
Exactly. Alright.
Really? Okay. Oh, Eichenwald, how we missed you for the past 45 seconds. So we're instantly back here once again. This is going to be the 6th match for Velocity. This time going up against Crystal Sky. I don't know how they will fare against the Lord of all memes, but
Here, let's pick it up.
Game on.
we'll see how it goes.
Check this out.
May being picked by the side of Velocity and Goat Pounder. Already switching up their strategy. Orisa being picked once again. We'll see what works. This is a bit of a different playstyle, much slower. It does go this way for those types of comps. I think they picked the Reaper, expecting a Winston. So we'll see if that holds true. They are. Lord of all memes, picking Harambe. So I do think the Reaper will work out in the end. However, they're not running the triple support. They always do, so we'll see how this fares for them. They do have a Symmetra. Here we go. Match getting started. May already dropping the early wall, but we all know. You used to be able to hit that wall and pad your stats. Winston instantly leaping in, almost at the point, but will get answered back. Everybody jumping on him. May will kind of keeps everybody out, and they all focused on this Winston. Still isn't dead yet. Manages to jump out and stay alive for just a bit longer. Gets the kill onto Reborn. And that dive actually works out in the end for them. They get 2 picks. They get 4 picks. They absolutely kill everybody on the team. Only Sneaky on the Symmetra still alive. Very close to that teleporter at 70%, 72%, but won't be able to get it in time. And that was a clean roll through for Crystal Sky. That Winston was not focused down the way that he should have been. Just absolutely allowed everybody to snowball in behind him, despite the Maywall. Soldier doing a whole lot of damage. This isn't the dive comp they expect it to be. All the DPS is not coming from up front, it's not coming from very close, it's coming from very far away, the McCree and the Soldier. A very awkward comp to kind of plot against. You need that Diva. They do swap over to the Diva now, but they're still dropping everywhere. 3 kills already. They answer back with 1 onto the Winston, but at what cost? Everybody else is dying. That's 4 kills on the side of Crystal Sky. Does get the mech and will eventually boop Fatty Magoo off of the map. Or for the kill. No, he does actually just kill him with the boop damage. And they stagger Captain Crunch out of the mech. Goat Pounder getting hurt here by the McCree. McCree ready for that Deadeye. We'll see if he goes to the high ground, try to contest, or will he just use it to zone people out. Winston diving in once again. Will get pinned. That is 300 damage. He will definitely die. Diva ultimate right on front of Reinhardt's shield, but Sneaky won't be able to get behind it in time, and it does get the mech as well. West Nile with that Resurrect gets 2 people back up, kind of equalizing the fight. They do get a kill. They get 2 kills in return, so this might actually work out for them in the end. Using the Junkrat Tire for good measure, although unnecessary in my opinion. The triple res brings half of the team back. Actually, the entire team is up here, back up and running. They had the Tactical Visor, the Diva's out of mech. Captain Crunch dropping very low, does get his mech back after he ults, however didn't get anybody. Winston coming in, gets the kill onto Goat Pounder with the Helix Rocket, but Winston still going in ham, going onto these healers, going onto the Zenyatta, does destroy him in the backline, jumping on back to the point, knocking everybody away. Tactical Visor being dropped from the high ground. Not really able to find much. I don't agree with that Tactical Visor. Does get the Tracer, but that's about it. That's all he gets. Diva will sacrifice herself to get the Reinhardt, but in the end it will work out. Goat Pounder does die. Diva will get the good respawn, and she will be right back up with her team. Definitely an important kill there to get the Reinhardt out of the way so he can't really get resurrected and stall for a longer amount of time with all his health and shield. They're still pushing forward. Diva not really working out. Diva out of mech now. McCree freely able to use his Deadeye. Does get 2 kills. The very pesky Tracer and the Diva out of mech, unable to let her get her mech back and stall anymore. This payload is just rolling through, uncontested. They are so staggered. They get killed one by one. They can't do anything. Goat Pounder tries to use his ultimate, but killed in the middle of the animation by a Diva bomb. Winston dropping in here, zip-zap in a Diva's mech, and it will get dropped. She will be instantly killed as she leaps out in a backflip fashion. Reborn trying to regroup with his team, but he can't really wait that long. He does get a fat shatter, gets 3 people in it. There is a Zenyatta ultimate on top of him to keep him healthy. He's escorting everybody, but they're all running away. Only get 1 kill in return. Does get resurrected in the end even, so they get 2 kills back. traded for absolutely nothing. Mercy discorded, but no one focusing her down. The Tracer Bomb does catch the Soldier. Lucio ulti being dropped, trying to keep everybody alive through this very insane push. The Tracer still trying to go ham, but Winston will zap her down. The D.Va ultimate does get the enemy Mercy. She did not have her resurrect, so she won't really be able to do much. D.Va ultimate being dropped. The Winston shield will get destroyed, or not. It won't get destroyed as it was an ally D.Va ultimate, but it does catch the enemy Reaper. Another Deadeye being popped. Does get Captain Crunch right out of his mech as soon as he flips out. Unable to let him get that back. Reborn trying to smack around, trying to get them off the payload, but he will just be instantly dead as he has no backup whatsoever. Sneaky dying instantly as he come out. The payload is almost there. The triple res does come out from West Nile Virus. Tactical Visor being popped in the backline. No D.Va to contest it. D.Va is there blocking him out. They do get the kill onto Sneaky and the Tracer. 3 kills from the side of Soldier, even with the defense matrix right on top of him. How? Captain Crunch now being destroyed out of his mech. Will get chased down by the Reaper, and the Monkey is being healed up by Mercy, and that looks like it's going to get there just in time. Lucio comes in to try to contest, but he will manage to get the payload all the way through Eichenwald, which is a feat in and of itself. But to have 3 minutes left, that is on a whole other level.
Switching sides.
Very tall order to beat here for Velocity. Crystal Sky just coming in. No regrets, no remorse, no holding back. Absolute frontal assault on their side. A very different comp than what Velocity has been fighting against all day today. The double hit scan, the long range damage, they just weren't prepared for that. The D.Va and the Reinhardt weren't enough. The Winston was just diving in, zip-zapping people everywhere. The Tracer on the backline kept getting killed, but couldn't really get the picks that the team needed. The healers were always alive. And that was it. That was essentially the entire round summed up. The Tracer wasn't able to get the picks that they needed on the defense, and the Symmetra didn't really work out. They didn't have any heroes that were countered by Symmetra. They could just shoot her from a distance at a safe, location, being peeled by their D.Va. Soldier able to sustain himself, and the Mercy, very good positioning, very good reses. They didn't really lose a fight during that entire thing, and if they ever did, the Mercy was there to resurrect. Very smart ult economy as well. The D.Va ultimates were just used to keep themselves alive. However, Crystal Sky did manage to pick up kills consistently, at least 1 kill. 1 or 2 kills per self-destruct, getting the Reaper, getting the Zenyatta, getting the Junkrat multiple times. It's always great when you can use those tank ultimates to get picks like that. Usually Winston's use their ultimate to, dive onto the backline or to survive, to stall a point. But it's so huge whenever they do actually get 1 or 2 kills with those ultimates. So we are going to see the attack Orisa here. Or sorry, no, the attack Orisa from the side of Goat Pounder on Velocity. Symmetra on the side of Crystal Sky. Very similar comp to what they were running, save the Symmetra. Mercy on the high ground. She's using the Winston leap to kind of stay in the air and kind of be safe in the air and heal everybody up from up top, and constantly jumps up and down. Captain Crunch on that Sombra almost has her EMP ready, as per usual with most Sombras, because it's essentially a third ability that gets charged very, very quickly. They do get a kill. Teleporter is already ready on this side of Crystal Sky, so that's going to be a very difficult task for them to overcome. They need to get a couple picks here and snowball the fight, cause them to stagger in. The Winston dives all the way in the back. Helix Rocket finds Reborn Soldier on the Reinhardt. Winston ults, try to keep himself alive, manages to stay alive for longer, but does get taken out in the end by Fatty Magoo on the Reaper. The car wash is in full effect. Sneaky almost dies to the car wash. Will get destroyed by the D.Va as he was already so low. McCree firing freely at this Reaper. Will get taken down by the Symmetra. Just absolutely outnumbered. D.Va back in her mech safely. Didn't even die. No need to resurrect. Resurrect still available. Teleport still up. Captain Crunch and Reborn Soldier being staggered out a bit. Reborn Soldier on that Reinhardt very close to his ultimate. A game-changing play as we saw last game. We'll see if he can pull it off. Sneaky with the Resurrect to bring it back if anything goes awry. As soon as Captain Crunch does get that EMP, we might see a big play here. They need to get a 6 ultimate play. West Nile already has his beat drop available. They're pushing the choke, but they have nothing to take out these turrets. They need to focus these turrets. If they drop the Reinhardt shield, they will get absolutely obliterated. The Deadeye comes out but finds absolutely nothing, even though the soldier, Reborn Soldier, was pulled out. They use the Resurrect to equalize the fight. Bongos are dropped. Everybody's hacked. They do get the pin. Will she live? D.Va mech does get destroyed. A Reinhardt ultimate gets dropped. Trying to kill the D.Va. D.Va does drop. Bongos are destroyed. Goat Pounder has no ultimate. Reborn chasing this Roadhog. In the end, Tactical Visor gets popped inside of the house. McCree firing freely at Sneaky, and everybody is in a shooting gallery, a slaughterhouse inside of the little building, and they will get destroyed. And that looks like they will hold. A minute and 10 seconds remaining for Velocity to capture the first point. Less time than it took Crystal Sky to actually capture it initially, making this Roadhog pick work. Lords of all memes had swapped over from the Winston. D.Va ulti being chucked away. It doesn't even reach the enemies, though. Is kind of a questionable ult usage there. They do manage to get the Mercy. That's a huge pick. They don't have a D.Va ultimate to clear the point. Reborn smacking away, but he will get destroyed by Whole Hog. Not the Whole Hog, but Roadhog, and D.Va being blasting away at him. Captain Crunch manages to get the McCree, but they do lose their both tanks in the end. Fatty Magoo, solo capping the point, does manage to get the first tick, but is low. Has to try to get that health pack. Mercy uncontested in the top, healing everybody up, keeping everybody topped off. Now Fatty Magoo alone on the point will get destroyed. Roadhog still has his ultimate, trying to keep everybody away from the point. We'll see. Goat Pounder switching off the last second Pharah against a double hit scan. Very unadvised. Will get dropped by the soldier, who is getting pocketed by the Mercy. A very difficult combo to last against. And they do resurrect West Nile. The single man res onto the point. Sneaky. 3 people already down. Soldier with his tactical visor killing absolutely everyone. Roadhog going low. They do kill Reborn Soldier in the end. Deadeye for good measure trying to keep everybody off the point. And they will secure Eichenwald.
Final score 0-3. Victory.
A dominant performance by Crystal Sky. Some questionable picks and decisions on the side of Velocity. The Resurrects were nowhere nearly as impactful as on the side of Crystal Sky. Here we have to play the match. Everybody trapped inside of this small house with no D.Va to protect you. A very unfortunate set of events that happened. We're back here in the lobby. King's Row has been selected as the map. We'll see if they go. Here we go. Shrimp Fried Rice had left. Looks like he's back.
Yeah. But he had to go. He was lagging as well.
Who?
Fatty Magoo.
Oh. That sucks, man.
It's all good. And this might be the last game?
According to Reborn.
Alright. Alright, here we go.
I'll see you on the other side, friend.
Yeah, buddy.
Now entering King's Row.
Well, welcome back to another Velocity Scrim match. Now on King's Row. Fan favorite map. One of my preferred maps, personally. Very balanced map. We'll see if we'll end the night here on a high note, a more calm note.
So we're delivering a bomb to scrap some bots, and I'm getting paid for it. My kind of job.
Alright, on the side of Clear Sky, we have a couple of changes to their comp. Still technically double hit scan DPS with the Widow. So they're running a very similar comp that they ran on defense, Eichenwald. West Nile on the Widow, however, I highly doubt he'll stick to it. I'm pretty sure he's just scoping out everybody. Although he's not there scoping everybody out. Go Pounder on his Junkrat. Chem Crunch on the Hanzo, he's stuck with for quite a while now. And let's get ready to rumble. There's about 1 second left. The match has started. Velocity on Assault, Goat Pounder on the high ground, getting hit up quite hard by the enemy Widow. Dropping bombs from afar. 10% on his ultimate already, same as the enemy Widow. And West Nile manages to get the pick on the enemy Widow already. That is actually very huge. They do have the Diva to peel for the Soldier. But if they manage to sneak in through here, Reborn on a very awkward flank route on the Winston there, getting all the turrets down. Double kill for the enemy Soldier though. That's going to halt their push, even though that early pick, although it was an early pick and it was a nice kill, unfortunately it wasn't a high priority target. Shrimp-Fried Rice will be taken down, as well as the attack Symmetra Sneaky. Captain Crunch on the Hanzo will get bullied out by another Tracer. Once again, that's kind of been the tale of tonight. Captain Crunch getting focused down by these very mobile heroes such as Genji and Tracer. Staggered kills coming out of here on every side. Goat Pounder did swap from the Junkrat onto the Lucio, trying to get some more heals for their team. However, Sneaky still on the attack Symmetra. So they're running the triple support combo they're popular for, but they're switching West Nile onto the Zenyatta, so it's a quadruple support. Single Hanzo DPS solo tank Reborn on the Diva. Very interesting composition here. Triple kill by Kabish on that Tracer, who was previously running the Soldier. Kind of been unleashed now, while Momox has been swapped from McCree duty onto Soldier duty. That is an absolutely huge kill. Has to be a demoralizing defeat in that team fight for Velocity, but if they manage to regroup here, they need to swap out their comp. Goat Pounder does go over to the Zarya, so now they do have 2 tanks. This might actually go in their favor. We all know the dreaded Zarya Hanzo combo that they invest so much in. Sometimes it doesn't work out, actually most of the time it doesn't work out, but it's still a game-changing play that could turn the tide in their favor. We see them fighting here in the streets. Tactical has been popped, as well as Primal Rage. They managed to get West Nile Virus somehow. Tactical does find Captain Crunch, once again unable to do any DPS. Sneaky does put the teleporter somewhere in the back. He does have a TP nearing the point on the high ground. Goat Pounder gets taken out staggeredly. Zenyatta might reveal the position of the teleporter. Now they're on the second. They do get killed off instantly coming out of the teleporter. Shrimp-Fried Rice over there coming in. The self-destruct might just get the TP. It doesn't get the TP, but Tracer does manage to get it, and the self-destruct will destroy Shrimp-Fried Rice. Captain Crunch gets a pick on the Soldier, but it's a little too late. Tracer finishes him off, and they'll have to reset here. Soldier and sprint all the way back up to this point very comfortably. They do have a teleporter up and ready to go as well. They don't really need to worry about too much. Unlike Velocity, which they have less than a minute remaining, they have to worry quite a bit. They're just constantly getting dove on. This Tracer, uncontested, undefeated. No one's really focusing her down. He drops the bomb, does get finally killed off. but doesn't get any kills with the pulse bomb anyway. There is a teleporter she can just use to instantly get back into this fight, or if she decides not to use it, she can just dash all the way back up onto the point. They need to capitalize this. There's no one harassing them, trying to get their healers. D.Va ultimate does get dropped. Zenyatta going in, charging up his balls, doesn't really find anyone, is running away. They've kind of swapped sides here on the point. Lord of all memes does drop to the Reborn self-destruct, and D.Va's out of sight of her mech by the scatter arrow. That's actually pretty big for them. They can freely fire away. Although they do lose 2 on the way out. They do get the Symmetra, but there's Tracer back at it again with the Soldier, being able to pump out all the damage they need to finish off these kills. And 3 seconds left, they're only going to be able to revive Symmetra. Zenyatta does get onto the point with his ultimate, trying to contest. He's getting slowed down and zapped by everybody. He's going to instantly die as soon as it runs out, and there it is. No overtime contest.
Complete. Score 0-0. Switching sides.
Here we're back again at King's Row, this time Velocity on the defense. A much better suitable position for their triple or quad support comp, although very unadvised against what they're running. Good Panda on the Ana, first pick of the night, and at the same time K-Bish on the Ana as well. The first time we see Ana, we see her on both teams here on King's Row, final match of the night. Sneaky on that trusty Symmetra of his. Shrimp Fried Rice, his Mercy. Pretty standard comp, 3-1 revisiting that Orisa once again. K-Bish will opt out of the Ana and give it to whatever works, and will rather go on the Genji. We'll see how this one goes down. Momok's back on that McCree, however this time they're not running the double hit scan, at least not yet.
I understand.
Sneaky setting up the turrets on the choke.
I'll enjoy the quiet while it lasts.
West Nile on the Reaper this time. Five seconds until the round starts. They need to get a little bit above the first tick, which was what Velocity was able to get in their first round of attack. Goat Pounder kind of shooting heals at D.Va at full health, but there you go, a grenade to keep them all topped off. They're kind of holding back, not fighting at choke, they're kind of fighting on point, giving them a lot of space, giving them the high ground. Something that's not as important here, as they are running quadruple support solo DPS Genji on the side of Crystal Sky. A very awkward strategy. Symmetra sneaking all the way in the back. I don't know if Velocity is actually completely unaware of this, setting up traps all the way inside of the hotel. They're fighting them back to the choke with the help of the Orisa shields and the Symmetra turrets, but nothing's really going to matter. Genji does manage to get the kill onto the Ana on the side of Velocity. Both healers down now. The support's about to go down. They do get the 2 supports on the side of Crystal Sky, but I don't think it will matter. Captain Crunch is out of his mech. West Nile's not there. The only one left on the point is Reborn, and that probably will be point. D.Va is there. Captain Crunch trying to stall, but he's not on the point. No one's on the point, actually. Zenyatta trying to stall on the point. They don't have a teleporter. Dragon Blade will be popped just to secure this point. And the quadruple, the quintuple support, solo Genji DPS comp will actually work out for them. They're able to out-sustain the entire fight and get the picks that they needed onto the healers. And even though they lost 2 healers, they still had 3 other ones to deal with. So everybody was alive. Here we see K-Bish with the play of the match, that Tracer triple kill that did land. Very good play. And stellar performance all around. A little bit of BM just to secure, but a quick 5-minute, 23-second match on King's Row.
Aw, thanks, loves.
It'll be your last game.